Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl releases in a few days, and the roster's looking pretty great so far. But I noticed there are a couple characters missing from the roster who I'd love to play as. So I went through each franchise represented in the game so far, and picked out one more character I'd like to see playable at some point, either in the base game or as DLC. Starting with... I don't know much about All Real Monsters, but I do know Crumb is the secondary protagonist alongside Oblina, so it makes sense for him to be playable too. I always thought his design was gross, but I liked it because of that, so Crumb is my pick for another All Real Monsters rep. Avatar: The Last Airbender has so many great characters to choose from, but if I had to settle for one, I gotta go with Prince Zuko. I mean, including Korra, we have an airbender, an earthbender, and a waterbender, so adding Zuko as a firebending rep would be perfect. Plus, he's a fan favorite character and one of my personal favorites from the show, so Zuko is my pick for another Avatar rep. I know literally nothing about CatDog, so I'm just gonna say Winslow and leave it at that. I mean, look at him. He's great. Look, just look at him. Come on. Look at this little guy. Look, keep looking at him. Never stop. Danny Phantom is one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows. It has so many great bad guys who would make a perfect secondary rep for the game. But I gotta go with arguably the most important villain from the show, Vlad Plasmius. He's such a cool villain, and definitely one of the most evil characters Nickelodeon's ever created. I could see his moveset being similar to Danny's, but a lot more powerful. I don't want to make too many comparisons to Smash, but I could even see him taking Ganondorf's side special. Imagine the disrespect! So Vlad Plasmius is my pick for another Danny Phantom rep. This one's a no-brainer, Arnold. I don't know what his fighting style would be, but it's weird to have Helga in the game and not Arnold. So yeah, he's my pick. Invader Zim is another show I know nothing about, but I think Dib would be a great secondary rep. He's arguably the main character of the show, and I always liked his design. I could see him using his inventions as attacks too. So Dib is my pick for another Invader Zim rep. I don't know much about Legend of Korra either, but I know some of the characters. Asami would be my choice for another rep from the series. Like I said about Zuko, having a firebender would round out the roster too. In fact, I think Asami could fit more than Zuko, since we'd have an airbender and earthbender from the original series, and then a water and firebender from the second series. So Asami is my pick for another Korra rep. I hate the Loud House and I don't like its fans. That being said, I pick Lenny, moving on. This one's kinda weird and I can't see it actually happening, but George Licker would be my pick for another Ren and Stimpy rep. He's technically not a Ren and Stimpy character, he's actually the mascot character for their creator, John Kay, but he did show up in Ren and Stimpy as his first appearance. I can't see him getting in the game though, mostly because he's also appeared in some pretty adult stuff, and also because John Kay is a piece of shit, but that didn't stop Ren and Stimpy from getting in the game themselves, so George Licker is my pick for another Ren and Stimpy rep. Now, Rugrats is kinda hard to pick from, seeing as all the characters are literal infants. I think that's why the devs chose Reptar, because Nickelodeon didn't want them to make a game where you can punch babies. So I won't be choosing Tommy or Chucky, but I will pick Angelica, because let's face it, everyone wanted to beat the ever-loving shit out of this little brat. And if her being a toddler is an issue, use her all grown-up design instead. I just want to punch Angelica, okay? This one's pretty obvious too. Squidward is almost always the fourth character when it comes to SpongeBob video games, with SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy being the main trio, so Squidward is my pick. I don't think I need to explain this one too much. Obviously, I could say Raph and Donnie should be in the game, and they should, but I'm only picking one, and it would be wrong to pick one over the other. So instead, I'm gonna vouch for Casey Jones. The guy doesn't get enough recognition in TMNT media nowadays. Also, apparently he's a girl now in the newest cartoon, so that would be interesting to see. But seeing as they're going with the classic TMNT look, I'd go with classic Casey too. He's my pick for another TMNT rep. I know what you're probably thinking. I'm gonna say Eliza Thornberry, right? Well, wrong. I'm actually gonna pick Dobby. Pulling another Smash comparison, this guy would be the Sonic of the game. Crazy fast, crazy annoying to fight, crazy fun to play. so Dobby is my pick for another Wild Thornberries rep. And that's my list. Obviously I could pick some characters from shows not already represented in the game, but that would make the list way too long. Maybe I'll do that once the game's released though. Who would you pick for Nick All-Stars? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this style of video, check out my art channel where I got a lot more. We recently hit 1,000 subs over there, and we're growing like crazy, so if you want to join the party, go subscribe yourself, and subscribe to this channel while you're at it. And don't forget to leave a like, it really helps me out. Thanks for watching, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.